The Riverside Country Club's private dining rooms sparkled with champagne flutes and designer gift bags. Dad's 60th birthday party was in full swing, and I was standing at the bar watching my brother Marcus show off his new Rolex to a circle of admiring cousins. "Another round of Dom Perignon for table 7, the server said, glancing at me expectantly. I nodded, adding it to the mental tab I'd been keeping. So far, $8,000 for the venue, $3,500 for catering, $2,000 for the cake, $1,200 for flowers. And now another $600 for champagne. Marcus kept ordering. "Sarah." Mom's voice cut through the laughter. "Sarah, come here." I walked over to their table where Dad sat surrounded by wrapped presents. Mom's smile was tight, the one she used when she wanted something. "We need to discuss your father's gift," she said quietly. "I already paid for the party, Mom. And I got him the watch he wanted." "Not that." Dad leaned back in his chair, cigar in hand. "Your mother and I have been talking. It's time I upgraded my car. The Mercedes is 3 years old now." My stomach dropped. "What kind of upgrade?" "Porsche 911 Turbo S. Silver." He said it like he was ordering coffee. "Your brother test drove one last week. Beautiful machine." "Dad, that's a $230,000 car. Family helps family, sweetheart." He reached over and patted my hand. "You've got that good tech job. What else are you spending money on? You still live in that tiny apartment." Marcus appeared behind me, champagne glass in hand. "Come on, sis. Don't be cheap. We all know you're making good money now." I looked around the table. Aunt Linda, Uncle James, my cousins, all watching with expectant faces. "I can't afford a Porsche, Dad." "Can't?" Mom's voice rose slightly. "You just paid for this entire party without blinking. Don't pretend you're struggling." "That's different. This is his birthday party." "And the car is his birthday present," Marcus interrupted. "From his loving daughter. Unless you want everyone here to know you value your father at less than a car payment." The table went quiet. He crept up my neck. "You owe us," Dad said, his voice harder now. 28 years of food, shelter, education. Your mother and I sacrificed everything. This is how you repay us. By nickel and diming your own father." I thought about the mortgage payments I'd been making on their house for 3 years. The credit cards I'd paid off twice. The emergency loans that were never repaid. The utilities, the car payments, the country club dues. All quietly transferred from my accounts while they told extended family I was finally getting on my feet. "I need to make a call," I said quietly. "Don't you walk away from this conversation," Mom started. "I'll be right back." I stepped into the hallway and pulled out my phone. My hands were shaking as I dialed. "Miss Chen, this is unexpected." Richard Morrison's voice was warm. "Calling on a Saturday evening?" "Mr. Morrison, I need you to come to the Riverside Country Club. Private dining room B. It's time." There was a pause. "Are you certain?" "They just demanded I buy my father a $230,000 Porsche. On top of everything else." "I'll be there in 20 minutes. Don't sign anything." When I returned to the table, Dad was opening presents. Marcus had given him golf clubs, $400 worth that I knew came from Dad's own credit card, the one I'd been paying minimum payments on for 18 months. "There she is." Dad boomed. "Come sit down, birthday girl's paying. We were just discussing the Porsche. I think we should go to the dealership Monday morning. Cash purchase, nice and clean." "About that," I started. "No excuses, Sarah." Mom's smile was steel. "Your brother never makes us beg for help." Marcus smirked. "That's because I understand family loyalty." I thought about Marcus's loyalty. The $60,000 they'd given him for his wedding while I got $500 for mine. The down payment on his house, $80,000 of their money. The car, the vacations, the designer clothes. All funded by my bank account while they praised his success as a regional sales manager making $70,000 a year. "Actually, I do understand family loyalty," I said. "That's why I've been paying your mortgage for 3 years." The table went silent. "What are you talking about?" Uncle James asked. "The mortgage on their house," I continued. "Mom and Dad haven't made a payment since 2021. I have. Along with their credit cards, car payments, utilities and country club dues." Dad's face flushed red. "That's private family business." You wanted to discuss it publicly by demanding a Porsche in front of everyone. So let's discuss it publicly. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app. Should I show them the transactions? $4,500 monthly mortgage payment. $2,800 for credit cards. $600 for utilities. $450 for your country club membership. All from my account. Sarah, stop this right now, Mom hissed. Why? You're not embarrassed to demand money from me in front of them. Why should I be embarrassed to tell them where their lifestyle actually comes from? You ungrateful. Richard Morrison, First National Bank. We all turned. A silver-haired man in an impeccable suit stood in the doorway, briefcase in hand. He crossed the room and extended his hand to me. Miss Chen, good to see you. I shook his hand. Thank you for coming, Mr. Morrison. Everyone, this is Richard Morrison. He's the president of First National Bank. Mom's face went pale. What is he doing here? Miss Chen is one of our most valued clients, Mr. Morrison said smoothly, setting his briefcase on the table. When she called about a family financial matter, I felt it warranted immediate attention. This is a private party, Dad started. Which Miss Chen is paying for, Mr. Morrison interrupted. Along with, if I'm not mistaken, approximately $186,000 worth of your expenses over the past 3 years? Uncle James choked on his drink. That's how did you, Mom stammered. Bank records. Mr. Morrison opened his briefcase and pulled out a folder. Miss Chen requested a complete accounting of all transfers to accounts in your names. Mortgage payments, credit card payments, utility payments, car payments, insurance, medical bills, and various cash transfers labeled as family emergencies. He laid several pages on the table. I watched Dad's eyes scan the numbers. Now, Mr. Morrison continued, Miss Chen also asked me to bring documentation of her own financial holdings. For context, he placed another document on the table. Investment portfolio, $2.3 million. Retirement accounts, $890,000. Real estate holdings, 4 properties valued at $3.1 million total. Business equity, $5.7 million in a software company she co-founded. The room was dead silent. Marcus's champagne glass slipped from his hand. That's... Aunt Linda breathed. Sarah, you're a multimillionaire. Yes, I said quietly. I've been since I was 26. The tiny apartment I live in? I own the entire building. 8 units. I live in one and rent the others. Mom looked like she might faint. Why didn't you tell us? Because the moment I made my first million, I watched you demand $50,000 from me for Dad's emergency surgery that turned out to be elective cosmetic work. I realized that to you I wasn't a daughter. I was an ATM. That's not fair, Dad started. What's not fair, Mr. Morrison cut in, is that Miss Chen has been supporting your household while you've been telling extended family she was financially struggling. What's not fair is using her credit in her name without her authorization. What? I turned to him sharply. He pulled out another document. This came up in our audit. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, you've opened 3 credit cards in your daughter's name over the past 18 months. Total charges, $47,000. That's identity theft, Uncle James said, his voice shocked. That's fraud, Mr. Morrison corrected. Federal crime. Miss Chen could press charges. Mom grabbed my arm. Sarah, we're family. We didn't think you'd mind. You didn't think I'd find out, I said, pulling away. There's a difference. Marcus found his voice. Look, maybe everyone's overreacting. So Sarah makes good money and helps out her parents. That's what families do. What do you contribute, Marcus? I asked. That's not the point. You make $70,000 a year. You got $80,000 for your house down payment. I got nothing. You got a $60,000 wedding. I got $500. They pay your car insurance, your phone bill, your gym membership. What do you pay? He opened his mouth. Closed it. Nothing, I answered. You pay nothing. Because I'm paying for everything. Miss Chen, Mr. Morrison said, shall we discuss the legal remedies you mentioned? I took a deep breath. This was it. As of Monday morning, all automatic payments to accounts in my parents' names will cease. The 3 fraudulent credit cards will be reported to the credit bureaus and the police. I'm filing a formal identity theft report. Sarah, please, Mom's voice broke. The mortgage on your house is 3 months behind despite my payments. I contacted the bank last week. They're beginning foreclosure proceedings. Dad's face went purple. You can't. I already did. However, I made them an offer. I'm purchasing the house at foreclosure auction. For cash. You're stealing our house? Marcus shouted. I'm buying a house that's being foreclosed on because the owners can't afford it, I corrected. Once I own it, I'll be renting it out. Fair market rate, $4,500 a month. You can apply to be tenants if you'd like. Mom started crying. How can you do this to us? How can you do this to yourself? I countered. You had a fully paid mortgage until you refinanced to pull out equity for Marcus's wedding and his house. You had good credit until you maxed out cards on vacations and cars. You had a daughter who would have helped you reasonably if you'd ever treated her like family instead of a bank account. Mr. Morrison cleared his throat. Ms. Chin has also asked me to prepare a cease and desist letter regarding any future contact requesting financial assistance. Any violations will result in legal action. You're cutting us off completely? Dad's voice was hollow. You can contact me for birthdays and holidays if you want a relationship, I said. But the ATM is closed. I stood up. The party's paid for. Enjoy the rest of the evening. As I walked toward the door, Aunt Linda called out, Sarah, wait. I turned. Can I ask you something? She looked genuinely confused. If you're this successful, why did you keep helping them? Why not cut them off years ago? I thought about that. Because I kept hoping that eventually they'd love me for me. Not for my money. I kept thinking if I just helped a little more, proved myself a little more, they'd finally see me. I looked at my parents. But tonight when Dad demanded a Porsche, I realized they never will. To them, I'll always be worth exactly what I can provide. Sarah, Mom reached for me. Goodbye, Mom. 6 months later. The coffee shop near my office had become my favorite Saturday spot. I was going over reports when my phone buzzed. Aunt Linda, can we meet? Just me. I hesitated, then agreed. She arrived 20 minutes later. She looked older than I remembered. Thanks for meeting me, she said. I wasn't sure you'd say yes. What's going on? She sighed. Your parents are moving next week. A small 2-bedroom apartment. Across town. I heard. They didn't apply to rent their old place. They couldn't afford it. Your dad's selling cars now. Your mom works part-time at a boutique. Marcus stopped talking to them. That surprised me. Why? When they couldn't pay for his lifestyle, he lost interest. He's just like them, only around when there's money. I sipped my coffee silent. I wanted to apologize, Aunt Linda said softly. For years I watched them treat you unfairly. I didn't speak up. That night at the party, seeing the truth, the numbers, I was ashamed. You didn't know. I should have guessed. The way your mom bragged about Marcus and ignored you. I should have asked questions. She showed me a photo of my parents at Thanksgiving, laughing. They've had to face real life, she said. No Porsche, no club, no fancy dinners. And somehow it's helping them. Helping them. Your dad said he finally sleeps well. Working at the dealership humbled him. Your mom volunteers at a food bank now. That's good, I said. They ask about you. Not for money. Just if you're okay. Your mom cries sometimes remembering that night. I looked out the window. Part of me wanted to forgive them. But another part remembered years of being used. Maybe someday, I said. But not yet. I'm still learning who I am without them. That's fair, Aunt Linda said. I just wanted you to know, the door's still open. After she left, I sat with my coffee and thought about family. The one I was born into. And the one I was building. Friends, partners, a life that was mine. My phone buzzed. Message. Board meeting went great. Expansion approved. Congrats, boss. I smiled. This was my family now, the one I chose. And that was enough. 2 years later. A cream envelope arrived in the mail. Sarah, dinner at our apartment. Nothing fancy. Just family. Sunday at 6 p.m. Mom. No demands. Just an invitation. I called Aunt Linda. Did you know? Yes. They've both been in therapy. Your mom runs a donation program at the food bank. Your dad helps people with bad credit get car loans. They've changed. I looked at the invite. I was still hurt but also curious. Tell them I'll come, I said. With my partner. We'll leave by 8:30. Fair enough. Sunday came. The apartment was small but warm. Mom opened the door wearing jeans and a sweater. Thank you for coming, she whispered. Dad stood up. Sarah. I'm glad you're here. Dinner was simple, lasagna, salad, garlic bread. Homemade. Dad spoke first. What we did to you was wrong. We treated you like a wallet, not a daughter. I'm sorry. Mom reached for my hand. We don't expect forgiveness. We just want you to know we see you now. Not your money. You. Tears stung my eyes. Why now? Because we were lost, Dad said. Chasing approval, forgetting what mattered. You were the one we hurt most. We talked for hours. About therapy. About change. About life. I didn't forgive them that night. But when I left hugging them goodbye, something shifted. The door wasn't closed anymore. Just open, slightly. And maybe that was enough to start again.